So this is my students' new favorite way to learn vocabulary. I have been looking for a way to encourage them to practice their vocab assignments. We recently had the word wisdom books, and for a majority of actually until fourth quarter, so yeah, a majority of the year, it was a struggle to engage students in vocabulary. They don't want to work out of a workbook, which is completely understandable. And they were bored with the basic, make our own flashcards or quiz each other or, simply reading it, writing sentences. And I decided after taking this class that I needed a better way to teach them vocab. So another teacher told me about Quizlet and the fact that he uses Quizlet pretty much all the time for math terminology. Quizlet is not strictly vocabulary. It can be used with anything that's matching, which is really nice. Next year I won't be teaching language arts, I'll be teaching social studies, but I think this is another great way to engage kids in trying to match up events with places or events with dates or who was involved in an event or what the outcome was. Excuse me. So pretty much anything that can be matching. The really nice part, this is the kind of the student view. The nice part is that once you create a set, it creates all of these different ways to practice. Obviously, my students' favorite is this gravity game, and the object is to protect the planets from asteroids. So I made this one on Harry Potter terminology just because there are so many tricky words, especially for EL students. There are so many abstract concepts like transfiguration, so we tried to break it down and make it a little bit easier for them. And this is just one of the games. You can see that there are different difficulties. So I'm just going to do easy because might as well just show it. And it's really kind of cute. So a word will pop up, and then you have to type out what it means. So a remember all is a memory device. I don't know. The only thing that they don't like is that you have to type in the exact word, flying arm. So, and then it gives you points, which you can kind of see here. And, they really like that. But there are different ways that you can study these. So obviously I'm the teacher here, and it's really cool because you can create a new study set. Like I said, I did this, originally started this because of our vocabulary, book and how bored they were, but it's really neat. You can do this with pretty much anything, or you can even import them. And then all that you do, so you title it up here. So let's just say we were going to do Harry Potter number 2. And you can drop an image in. I had the Harry Potter background in my first one. And all that you do is you enter in the term and then the definition. And that's it. The really nice part, and something that I find could be helpful if I was a little bit more savvy when it comes to languages, is that you can choose your language. Now, I could see that being valuable for a Spanish teacher, but I could also see it valuable for a student who is trying to, get a handle on learning a language. So if I have a student who speaks Spanish, and he wants to have a word here and what that word means in English, teaching his friends. I think there are a lot of really great ways. So all that you do is you type it in, let's see, Professor, oh my goodness, McGonagall, and she is the transfiguration teacher, and then what it does is it just creates it for you. Albus Dumbledore, he is the headmaster. Snape, potions, teacher, and then you click create. And it's really cool because you can share it on your classroom, or you can copy the link I'm actually going to be teaching this tool tomorrow to a group of teachers. I ended up liking it so much. I wish I would have found it before fourth quarter. But I'm going to end up teaching it to some teachers who are also teaching vocabulary. We use the tool iReady, and our weakest point in iReady every single year is vocab. And I could see doing this with um, Greek and Latin root words, things like that. There's so much value to this because the kids are so engaged. They can take a test. They have to write the definitions. It gives virtual flashcards. Um, and so it's really kind of cool to see it. They can quiz themselves, and they can actually hear the words, so that could be very valuable as well for EL students. Just hearing the words, and especially for really tricky words. The other thing I like about Quizlet is that you can look up word wisdom, unit 2, lesson 3, let's say. And it's going to give you the different ones that other teachers have made public. So this is actually how I started before I ended up making my own. But I thought it was really cool that all the kids had to do was sign in. It's free, and they can just look up whatever it is that they need to study. I had kids tell me that they ended up using it for their math lessons, and I had kids telling me that they use it for science, because all they had to do was search for it. So I thought it was really cool that it's not just my class they can use it in, they can find any. I ended up also having a student for his final Harry Potter project make his own Quizlet that the kids could use and study from, which I thought was really neat as well, taking ownership of their learning. So Quizlet is a nice little tool. I like that it's free. I wish I would have learned it earlier. I'm sad that I didn't find it until fourth quarter. I've heard of it, excuse me, but I wish I would have used it earlier on in the year. I think it would have set my students up for a much more successful vocabulary assignment.